Welcome to Ms. K's math class. In today's lesson, we will learn to divide a mixed number by a whole number. Here we have a mixed number that says 2 and 1/4, and we want to divide that by 3. So what do we do when we have a mixed number and we want to divide it by a whole number? Here are the steps. Step 1. We first need to convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. Then we're going to switch the division sign to a times sign, this one right here. And lastly, we need to get the reciprocal, so find the reciprocal of this fraction that we're dividing by, and we solve. So let's do this together. First, how do we convert this mixed number into an improper fraction? And here are the steps. What we need to do is we keep the bottom as it is. So the bottom stays as a 4. Then we need to times. So 4 times 2 is 8, and we keep that, and we've got to add. So 8 plus the 1 is 9. So now my new numerator, the number on top, becomes 9. So what just happened is that the 2 and 1/4, this was a mixed number, and we've just converted that into an improper fraction. Then moving on to step 2, we need to switch the division sign into a times sign. So we times it instead of divide. Then step 3, we need to get the reciprocal. Another word for reciprocal is to simply flip. So here we have 3 right here. And 3 is the same as 3 over 1. So if we flip that, that becomes 1 over 3. So now we've gone through step 1, 2, and 3, and we're ready to solve. Now we have two fractions and we're timesing them. To do this, all we have to do is times the top by top and the bottom by bottom. So the first bit is 9 times 1 for the numerator, and for the denominator we have to do 4 times 3. And the answer is 9 over 12. So just going back to the question, 2 and 1/4 divided by 3 equals to 9 over 12. Here we have 3 and 1/4, and we're going to divide that by 2. So once again, we have a mixed number, and we're trying to divide it by a whole number. So step 1 says to convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. And how we do that is we keep the denominator as it is, so keep it as a 4. Then we need to times, and we're going to add to get the new numerator. So going step by step, we have 4 times 3, and that equals to 12. 12 plus the 1 equals to 13. So our new numerator is 13. So it shows that the mixed number that we had, 3 and 1/4, when we convert it to an improper fraction, it becomes 13 over 4. Now step 2 says to switch the division sign to times. So this division sign that we have over here, we write it as times. And last step, to get the reciprocal, is to flip. So the 2 that we have right here, we can rewrite that in a fraction form, and the whole number 2 is the same as 2 over 1. So to flip that and get the reciprocal, we are simply just flipping that, switching places. So the reciprocal of 2 over 1 equals to 1 over 2. So it is 1 over 2. Now that we have the two fractions and we're timesing it, we can solve it by timesing the numerator by numerator and timesing the denominator by denominator. Like this, and we just need to calculate. So for the numerator, we have 13 times 1, and that equals to 13. And the denominator, 4 times 2 equals to 8. And that's the final answer. Here we have 2 and 1/6 divided by 3. And the steps are, we're going to first convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. Then we will switch the division sign into a times sign. Then we will get the reciprocal of the whole number by flipping. Let's get started with converting. So here we have the mixed number, and how we can convert this is we keep the bottom denominator as it is. So the 6 stays as a 6. Then we're going to times and plus. So timesing 6 by 2, that's 12, plus the 1, that gives us 13. So the mixed number 2 and 1/6 can be converted into an improper fraction, and that becomes 13 over 6. Then switch. So the division sign becomes a times sign. And lastly, flip. So this 3, which is a whole number, if I were to rewrite the 3 into a fraction form, it is 3 over 1. And to flip and get the reciprocal, we're simply swapping sides. So 3 over 1 becomes 1 over 3. And so timesing by 1 over 3, we now have two fractions and we're timesing it. To do that, we simply need to times the numerator by numerator over denominator by denominator and calculate. So 13 times 1 gives us 13, and 6 times 3 gives us 18. And so the final answer for this question is 13 over 18. Here's my last question for today's lesson. We have 5 and 1 over 7, and we're going to divide that by 3. So remember to convert your mixed number into an improper fraction, then switch the division sign to a times sign, and get the reciprocal of the whole number by flipping. So first step, keeping the denominator as it is, so keeping it as a 7, and to convert this mixed number we have to times and add. So 5 times 7 is 35, plus the 1 gives us 36. Then we need to switch the sign division to a times, so do that. And lastly, flip to get the reciprocal. So the 3, which is a whole number, if I were to rewrite that into a fraction form, it can be written as 3 over 1. And to get the reciprocal, we simply need to flip. So that becomes 1 over 3. Now that we have the two fractions and we're timesing, we times the numerator by numerator and the denominator by denominator. And so 36 times 1 gives us 36 over 7 times 3 gives us 21. And so the final answer for this question is 36 over 21. Thanks for watching and follow me for more.